I'm sure the guy that wrote the paper wrote Nigeria, as they will call it, Nigeria.
I couldn't even pronounce it.
No,
how do you say?
Nigeria.
Nigeria. Okay, good.
You see, incompetence is just everywhere. This is another brighter grammar moment. Incompetence is just everywhere, and there's nobody to double check it. If a common government dossier cannot be checked properly from errors, then what can be checked properly in this country?
Okay, this is a video that I'm going to review. I'm going to do it. This is a reaction I'm doing to this viral video. It's a very, very necessary reaction because I think there's too much self-righteous talking and noise making going on regarding this so-called scandal of an executive order that was riddled with errors in the Katsina state. All right. First thing I want to say, I came in contact with this viral video in a group on Facebook. I'm sorry, on WhatsApp. It is my considered opinion that if we were to do a percentage evaluation of the number of people that are guilty of the problem we're about to talk about regarding this video, I would say that they are in the majority. I would put it like something like 70% of people have a problem with their command of the English language, right? So therefore, it is no surprise that even the person that is complaining about another person that has no command or is using the language improperly is him or herself making all kinds of crazy blunders that are clearly made without knowledge that he or she does not know how to use the words. So in this viral video, for instance, right on your screen, you can see here the titling. Somebody has done a title and put a kind of reddish coloration on the title for the video. Clueless and incompetence everywhere. They can't spell Nigeria correctly. Now, the person criticizing the people who cannot spell Nigeria correctly is him or herself. We don't know what the gender is. Writing English incorrectly. And that's a sign for you to understand that this problem is much more deep-seated than what a lot of people are willing to acknowledge.
Or comment on this particular subject before you talk about the naval issue.
I'm sure the guy that wrote the paper wrote Nigeria, as they will call it, Nigeria.
I couldn't even pronounce it. How do you say?
Nigeria.
Okay, good.
You see, incompetence is just everywhere. This is another brighter grammar moment. Incompetence is just everywhere, and there's nobody to double check it. If a common government dossier cannot be checked properly from errors, then what can be checked properly in this country? You are amazed at the level of incompetence, and we've become a gift that keeps giving every single time. We can't write a paper correctly, and we want to solve insecurity problems.
Now, what is very scandalous is the delivery of that executive order via the vehicle of a badly written document. And although we may blame the civil servants, but I would like to hold the governor Aminu Bello Masari himself responsible. Like, didn't the governor read the document?
I'm not sure.
A man who was a former, Speaker of the House of Representatives. The thing is even titled Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1991. As amended. The operative constitution in Nigeria, a former Speaker of the House of Representatives should be able to know that. He should be able to see it. The operative constitution is the 1999 constitution as amended. And then the same document is riddled with all kinds of grammatical infelicities, bad spellings.
So many.
Jerry cans is spelled wrongly. Even Nigeria is wrongly spelled. What kind of system do they run in Katsina State? That they cannot write simple English.
I'm wondering myself, somebody who was a commissioner and who was a speaker should really know better. And it's his signature on the dotted line.
A lot of people are occupying positions today, and I've written about this and spoken about this several times, over the many years now, that there are many people who are occupying positions today who themselves cut corners to get to where they are academically in terms of getting the qualification that they brandish readily in your face. Look, what he should have said, and anybody who passed primary school level English knows, primary school level, believe me, knows that it should have been cluelessness and incompetence everywhere. Not clueless and incompetence everywhere. What do you mean by that? Okay, let's assume it's a typographical error. But the point is, you are just about to criticize somebody else for wrong spelling and wrong use of language, and you are writing like that. Now, the problem is this also. He has or she has people who have interacted with him or her regarding this material, and nobody thought it right or saw or found it odd that he used that word in that manner incorrectly. And so they let it go out, and then it became viral. But everybody's glossing over that. You begin to wonder, do they even know it's wrong? That's the first thing. Second thing, let's be honest with ourselves. Nigeria has it worse than most other countries, but I assure you this problem is widespread across the world. You know what's caused it? It's the advent of PC and internet technology. The use of automation, even in academics, the advancement of internet-based education, all right, the introduction of artificial intelligence. There's a software called Grammarly. You can write English today, and if your English is not proper, it's not good enough, and you want to make sure that you write something that's presentable, you can use this software Grammarly to literally take control of your writing and help you to correct whatever it is and put it in the right sequence of words and all phrases and all of that, and you will present material that will not reflect your actual state of being as regards your communication, your ability to use the language. Go and Google it. Grammarly, that's the name of the software. Now, beyond that, there was a recent bit of viral news that came from Kenya, where it was discovered that there's an entire industry that's built around the young people in Kenya who have strong academic credentials or skills, who are helping an army of students studying at degree and master's degree level in universities in America do their papers down to project level. You know, they were handling all their research and all that. They were doing it all, they're writing their term papers for them, doing all those things for them, and getting paid to do so. So we have actually an army of American students, literally a generation, as it were, of American students today who are actually not doing their own study and are actually subcontracting it to students in places like Kenya who do all the academic heavy lifting for them and then just help them to get results. So I want to just give examples because some people don't like to do the necessary hard work of checking and fact-checking things, and they will sometimes just argue based on how they feel about something you say. So I've said that it's not limited to Nigeria. This nonsense about the standards having fallen, it's not limited to Nigeria. It's all over the world, but it's really because we don't have checks and balances. Now, in America, we have institutions that are committed to bringing up news and trying to shine light on what's not being done right. So you can see on your screen here, for instance, I said it before in the first video, the first part of this video, in which I said the Yorubas have a saying, "Entoba mulole." It's the person that gets caught that gets caught in the act that gets labeled a thief. It doesn't mean that the other thieves are not there. It's just that they're still working under the radar and they haven't gotten caught. And that's what's happening here. The Kenyans are being thrown under the bus as well, or being exposed as having been the ones sitting exams for American students and helping them to cheat, blah blah blah. Who says there are no other syndicates like that existing? These are the ones that have been exposed or shown to be involved. Now, the truth of the matter is that if you look at this, is just a search I did in Google, just the first page of results, and you can see various titles there. The business of cheating is booming, and the pandemic is really where it's been spiked up. It's always existed. I've always known of many websites that people could get a third party to help them write papers and all of that. I mean, people in American and Western universities, especially America in particular, the industry has always been there. It's just that it's grown bigger since the pandemic happened. And so you see all this thing, Kenya. It's not just the Kenyans. There are others involved in this thing. Even right there in America, there are people who are doing it, and in other parts of the West as well, who are the ones providing the services for these lazy Western students. So, but the point I'm making here is this is just one example of what I'm saying is a worldwide trend. All right, we have this generation of lazy-minded people who don't want to do the work, but they want the results. They just want to buy degrees. There are actually platforms that allow people to buy university degrees. But let me just let you see just clips from this video. It's a CBS video, and it talks about Kenyans getting paid by American students to cheat, blah blah blah. Just show you just give you a few seconds to listen to some of these things. I'll put the link in the description for you to watch the full video. All right.
Has seen an explosion in online education, but also cheating. A CBS News investigation found an industry in Kenya that thrives on American students who pay to cheat. Kenyan writers complete college-level assignments. The practice is known as contract cheating. It's illegal in 17 states, but not at the federal level, and enforcement is rare. Deborah Pata spoke to some Kenyan writers paid to cheat for Americans. They asked that we do not use their real names.
Cheating in college is nothing new, but as more and more degrees are done online, it's become a billion-dollar industry, and the heart of it is right here in Nairobi, often using top-class Kenyan graduates who come from poverty like this. Dreams of escaping life's grinding hardships often go up in smoke here. Education is seen as the only way out, and many Kenyans go hungry in order to pay for it. But even with a good degree, it's hard to find work.
I've been searching for work since I finished high school.
Joanne's tuition fees were due.
You can't steal, you have to find something to do for yourself.
William was battling to pay his rent, and so they turned to the global essay for hire industry.
It's not really something you would be proud about, telling people that you help others cheat.
Here's how it works. The Kenyans advertise their services on reputable websites with hip names like Ace.
And that's why what we're seeing now is just a tip of the iceberg. We are busy screaming about Katsina State. We don't know it's that bad in other states. Those of us in the West should stop fooling ourselves. I walk around a lot. I move around a whole lot. I interact with people locally and internationally. I rub minds with people. I connect with people. And I'm telling you, this thing is bigger even on our own end of the country than we think it is. A lot of us are just deceiving ourselves. I have met many adults, business owners, top corporate employees who cannot spell, read, and write correctly. I am telling you, and this is the fact, the truth of the matter is that they don't call each other out, because one person knows that I'm also not as good, so they don't have the moral courage or ground on which to call the other person out. But the truth of the matter is that what we are seeing here is just a reflection of what is in the Nigerian society. It has been on for a long time. It's only because it's said that there's this saying in Yoruba language that Entoba Muloli is the person that's caught that gets called a thief. So there are a lot of thieves, a lot of people are busy stealing, but the person that gets caught is the one that gets called out as a thief. That's just it. We have this thing everywhere. I have been to so many parts of Western Nigeria and I have seen it. It's glaring. I meet people, they cannot speak. I've met people who said they studied estate management, business admin, blah, blah, blah. They open their mouths and you're asking yourself, how does this person pass basic English in WAEC? I know what I'm saying. So this thing is not about Katsina State. This thing is about Nigeria. It is that bad. People know that all they have to do now is give money and they will get the piece of paper called the degree or the school certificate or whatever else. They know. And therefore, they go for it because nobody wants to sweat. Now, the best part is this. Let's assume you want to sweat. You decide to go through it the normal way. You go, you study, you pass your exams, you make your child go through it, he studies, he passes his or her exams. What happens then? What happens then? Your child is going to go and compete in the market, and so will you. You will go and compete in the marketplace for jobs or opportunities for contract bidding with people who don't bother with that nonsense. They simply go there and pay people money and they get the jobs. Why do you think you have the worst kind of people getting into public office and getting contract jobs? Why do you think you have people who are not respecting law and order and they still get away with it? Why do you think area boys are running our roads? It's because this kind of system is what exists. So let's stop screaming all this nonsense, this self-righteous uproar we're doing. It doesn't make any sense. We know that this thing is there. There are many of us who, if we were to be tested now, will not be able to write a complete paragraph correctly. The question is, are you going to make it? Because all you have to do is work on yourself and change. But in the meantime, when this happens, this is just the beginning of the end. Because now that this is coming out to the fore at this level in government, where executive orders are read, about 1991, Nigerian Constitution, 1991 as amended, when it's actually 1999. Imagine what that means in law. That has serious implications because the document becomes null and void. I'm not a lawyer, but I know. Immediately you have such an error, and it has been able to escape the notice of those who should have checked it and gotten it corrected. it becomes an invalid document. It does not have any, it's not binding on anybody. Think of what that means potentially. And that's where I'm going to end this.